Welcome in, soccer fans, to Liberty High School here in Hillsboro, Oregon, as OSAA.TV presents the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 3A, 2A, 1A Boys Soccer Championships. Today's match pits the Oregon Episcopal Aardvarks against the Riverdale Mavericks. And as you would expect on a mid-November day here in Oregon, it is chilly and wet. Temperatures in the 50s and rain expected through most of the day. It is a light sprinkle right now as we get set for our second match of the day here at Liberty High School. Previously, the OES girls getting the better of Valley Catholic in the 3A, 2A, 1A Girls Soccer Championship. 2-1, and now it's the boys' turn to try to get themselves their state championship. The Aardvarks in the white tops, green shorts, and white socks. They're moving from left to right. And the Riverdale Mavericks in the navy blue and white socks, moving from right to left. And thought we were about to get underway here, but it looks like Riverdale goalkeeper Joseph Spector, his jersey, he's having to change. The color of his original goalkeeper jersey a bit too close to that of the rest of his team. So referee crew having him make a change here real quickly before we get underway. Riverdale coming into the state championship, their first attempt at winning a state championship in boys soccer. On Tuesday, they got the better of Riverside 3-1. Before that, they went through Delphian. That was a 1-0 victory a week ago. And before that, a 6-0 victory over Umatilla. Oregon Episcopal came through Aragon 2-0 and then Santiam Christian 7-0 before getting the better of Catlin Gable 3-2 in the semifinals. And now we've got Riverdale goalkeeper Joseph Spector in a light gray top. And it looks like we are about ready to get underway here. And there's our whistle from head referee Marco Benavides. And we are underway with our 3A, 2A, 1A Boys Soccer Championship. Now these two teams have met previously. Just a few weeks ago, Oregon Episcopal with a 2-1 victory over Riverdale. And of course, both of these teams playing in the same league, Special District 1. And it was Catlin Gable, the team OES beat to get into this match, finishing that first. And OES trying to get on the board first here with a hard shot at the near post. And Joseph Spector able to block that before tracking it down along the end line. So a good opening foray into the Riverdale end of the field for OES. Colin Steering doing the work there for Riverdale. He leaves it off for Seven Dujardin. Now the cross in low on the ground. That's going to find the feet of Riverdale. Avi Byrne He's going to be driven all the way back. OES with a momentary clearance there, but now here's a chance over the top. A handball not seen by the head referee, but it looks like the linesman on the far side either calling for offside or recognizing the handball, and OES will take over with a free kick. There's Ben Field now. He knocks it out wide, looking for Colin Steering. His cross into the middle. Cleared momentarily. Shot finds the back of the net. And that is Riverdale up 1-0 here in the early goings. Isaiah Elder. The senior, Isaiah Elder, collecting a bit of a poor clearance right at the top of the 18-yard box. And he didn't get the cleanest of strikes, but it was a difficult bouncing ball. And as I mentioned earlier, it is wet out here. And certainly that had an impact for OES goalkeeper Leon Patrick, as he looked to have made some contact with the ball, but it slipped underneath him. Combination of the bounce and the rain, and the Riverdale Mavericks here take an early 1-0 lead. So far the 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer game mimicking the girls match which preceded it, with a quick early goal in the first few minutes. And there's our first whistle and foul of the game, taken quickly by Riverdale. And they control on the OES end of the field. Colin Steering again causing problems for the OES defense as he gets around the corner in towards the end line, looking to cross it in, unable to do so this time. Here's Steering again. One defender on his back. This time he's forced backwards, and that ball out of bounds will end up as an OES throw. Riverdale on the attack again. That pass picked off, however, by James Graybeal. Defended there by Ben Field. Ball out of bounds to Riverdale. And that's big Josh Peltz clearing the ball into the stands here at Liberty High School. Peltz, a 6'6" senior, anchoring that back line for the Mavericks. OES now trying to make something happen in the Riverdale, and that pass just out of reach for Rowan Barrage. And OES looking to take that throw in, but referee Marco Benavidez instructing them that it is a Riverdale throw. Peltz under some pressure there. Will result in a Riverdale throw. And miss hit there. OES. Junior Michael Brock giving that ball away. So Riverdale will take over again, but only momentarily. Pels calmly out of bounds there, but this will give OES the ball deep in Riverdale territory. Ball falls inside the 18-yard box. Bit of a scramble. Eventually cleared away by Riverdale. Up as far as Avi Byrne. He's going to try and turn with a defender on him. Out wide, Isaiah Elder. He's the goal scorer. Switches it back around to the near side. Cross in, headed away by OES. And finally out of trouble. Here's Gabe Perry Freer. Headed out of bounds there by Christoph Komers. As OES trying to switch the table here and put a little pressure on the Mavericks. Ben Field now for the Mavericks. A few moves around a couple of defenders. He's got a little space in front of him. Looks to cross that into the middle. Missed clearance there. Falls for Riverdale, and a bit too much of a cheeky backheel attempt there from Colin Steering as Leon Patrick collects for OES. And he'll punt it back the other direction. Settled now by OES. Nicely done there by Brian Semenson to move the ball forward for the Aardvarks. Looking the long ball over the top. All the way back to Joseph Spector. So 10 minutes gone here in our 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer final. Riverdale with a 1-0 lead trying to add here. Again, it's Steering. Correction as the goal scorer, Isaiah Elder, working his way toward the end line, trying to get a cross or a corner, but it ends up off of him, and an OES goal kick. If you're just tuning in, thanks again for joining us here at OSAA.tv, where you can watch all of our Oregon High School State Soccer Championships today. Currently, we've got our 3A, 2A, 1A Boys Soccer Championship. OES and Riverdale. Riverdale currently with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a third-minute Isaiah Elder score. Well done there from Colin Steering to hustle back defensively and get that back for the Mavericks. And now it's Nathan Hensley trying to make something happen. Quick throw in to Steering. His cross in low on the ground, cleared away easily. Now here's Perry Freer trying to get around a couple defenders and spring an attack, but he has earned a throw for the Aardvarks. Graybeal switches it across for Dugoni. He continues it on. Cross in towards the 18. Good hustle there by the Aardvarks. Number 6, the sophomore, Matthew Sipowicz, putting pressure on the Riverdale defense. And OES, after the early barrage from Riverdale, beginning to settle down now and trying to take control of things a little bit, enjoying a little bit more possession here in the last couple of minutes. Diagonal ball from Perry Freer, looking to the far corner flag. Brooks Yeager unable to get on the end of that. Yeager and Barrage trying to work the give and go there. Cut out by the Maverick defense. OES back, and that's Matthew Sipowicz who's going to get whistled for the foul as he came back to help out defensively. And Riverdale will take a free kick. They should be able to send this up near the top of the 18, perhaps cause some problems if they choose for the OES defense. A little break in the action here for a moment as OES player Nathan Hensling adjusts his shoe. Free kick in low, defended, and then a long-range effort from the free kick taker, Nathan Gruenberg, from a good 40 yards away, perhaps a bit ambitious on that attempt. But his team is up 1-0 early here, as we have played just about 14 minutes of action in our 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer final. OES's turn for a free kick. They go short here to the near sideline. Now they ping a ball in towards the 18. Flicked onto the far side by Isaiah Elder to get the ball out of danger. OES with the ball back in towards the top of the 18. And now here's a chance for Riverdale, perhaps, but they get dispossessed momentarily only, and a foot on the ball by Ben Field clears it out over the midway line. Tracked down by Steering. Well done to hold on to possession there by Steering. Seven Dujan. Now his pass picked off. OES looks to come back the other way. Yeager again trying to work that give and go, and again cut out nicely by the Riverdale defense. And a bit of back and forth here. Both teams having a little bit of trouble getting exactly the touch and control they'd like on the ball, but that's not out of the ordinary for the first 10 or 15 minutes sometimes of a state championship. And now a tense moment there for Riverdale as goalkeeper Joseph Spector came out to collect that ball but was unable to get to it under the pressure of Gabe Perry Freer, who was able to get a head on it but out of bounds. Perry Freer again manages to knock it wide for Graybeal. He's surrounded by a couple of defenders. Ends up with the throw. Taken quickly and fricked on, and a high clearance there from Pels. Get some oohs and ahs from the Riverdale fans. OES on the attack again. Cross in towards that far post. Bodies there. Spector gets a hand to it. Falls to the far side of the 18. OES able to get the ball back into the 18. But Yeager unable to do anything with it. And cleared away. OES back on it again now, though. Keeping the pressure on. The tide has definitely turned here in the last 5 minutes or so. Riverdale opening the scoring in just the 3rd minute and continued to put pressure on, but slowly Oregon Episcopal has taken control of things, and they're now beginning to put quite a bit of pressure on the Riverdale defense, looking to get an equalizer. Far side, this is Yeager. And it looks as though Brooks Yeager, the junior, is perhaps took a bit of a knock there. I think he may have waved over to the sideline to try to get a substitute, and he's moving pretty gingerly. So we'll see if Aardvarks head coach Justin Kerr makes a change here. Now a chance for the Aardvarks. Carl Lovestrand coming through to get a look on goal, but that was well defended by Nathan Grunberg, and a good tackle to stop a wide open look. Results in an OES corner. Matthew Sipowicz trots over to the far corner flag to send in the right-footed in-swinger. Low towards the near post. A lot of bodies there, finally cleared away by Dujan. And now OES throw, and our referee, Marco Benavides, is unaware of the substitution for OES waiting at the midway line, along with a pair of Riverdale substitutes. So perhaps on the next throw-in, our linesman will be able to get his attention, and both clubs wanting to make a change or two. James Graybeal, a sophomore, making a run forward. And now we'll get our changes, a pair of substitutions for both teams. Wyatt Jones and Marty Agremus into the match now for Riverdale. James Lee enters the match for OES along with Ian Brock. So 20 minutes left to go here in the first half. Riverdale Mavericks 1, Oregon Episcopal Aardvarks 0 in our 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer championship. And both coaches have made their first changes of the matches here midway through the first half. OES on the attack once again. Some nice moves there by Sipowicz. His cross headed away, though. And a chance to counter now for Riverdale. Slipping a ball through. Sliding effort there from Colin Steering. And a quick whistle from our referee as he collided with the OES goalkeeper, Leon Patrick. They both came out sliding on a nice through ball, leering to get on the end of it. It was just a bit too far out in front, and he went to ground pretty early, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets booked here. At the moment, a talking to. We'll see if our referee, and he does in fact make Colin Steering the first booking of the afternoon here. So not a particularly harsh challenge from Steering, but again, it was putting another player in danger clearly. So referee Marco Benavidez probably doing the prudent thing and showing a yellow card early. So Steering, of course, has to head to the sidelines. I believe Wyatt Jones in to replace him. Correction, that was Avi Byrne back into the match for Riverdale, replacing Steering. And Riverdale on the attack again. Avi Byrne trying to track this one down on the far side. And that'll be out of reach. Byrne unable to control that one. OES will take over. Ben Field now for Riverdale. Nice touches, left-footed shot, may have taken a slight deflection, but Leon Patrick gathers it after just a slight bobble. And there, a bit of a rough challenge there, and deemed by referee Marco Benavidez against OES, so this will be a Riverdale free kick. Senior Nathan Grunberg set to send this forward for the Mavericks. OES gets a head on it out towards the far side, and this will end up as a Riverdale throw. So 16 minutes left here in the first half. Oregon Episcopal down 1-0 to the Riverdale Mavericks. OES trying to win their first state championship since 2009. They are no strangers to the 3A, 2A, 1A championships. They've got 4 in the last 7 years. All under head coach Justin Kerr, who's been at the school since 1995. Riverdale making their first appearance in the boys soccer championship. And right now, enjoying their trip here as they're up 1-0 on a third-minute Isaiah Elder goal. Having to defend here a bit now, though. And the goal scorer Elder back to play a little defense and clear that up the line. Sipowicz with a nice ball towards the corner flag, but Christoph Comer's over early, and this one's going to get brought all the way back as Sipowicz was taken down as he played that ball. Referee Marco Benavides looking for the advantage, and when none was there, ultimately blew his whistle and brought it back. So OES will have the free kick. John Dugoni here, sending this forward for the Aardvarks. Awkward clearance, falls to OES. The shot far post, and OES has tied it up. So Ian Brock, the sophomore who'd come on as a substitute just a few minutes ago, gets the leveler here for Oregon Episcopal. And we've got a 1-1 game with 15 minutes left to go in the first half. Aardvarks capitalizing on a set-piece opportunity and a poor clearance inside the 18-yard box by the Mavericks, and a relatively nice, calm, composed strike from Ian Brock into the far post, and we're all knotted up here. And Brock unable to control that one on the far sideline. Once again, thanks for joining us here at Liberty High School in Hillsboro as OSAA.TV presents the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 3A, 2A, 1A Boys Soccer Championships. My name is Kelly McLean, and we've got a good match brewing here in our 3A, 2A, 1A Boys final as OES just got themselves a tying goal after Riverdale had opened the scoring back in the 3rd minute. Riverdale at it again now here, though. They've got time and space at the top of the 18, and a little awkward there from Marty Agremus. Just couldn't quite coordinate getting a strike on that ball. And we'll get a change here from Riverdale. As Nathan Hensley is going to re-enter the match for the Mavericks. Marty Agremus heading to the bench. OES back at it again here. Gabe Perry-Freer trying to take on a number of defenders. Gets past one to the end line. Cross in at the near post. Bobbled by Spector. In the end, able to connect, grab it though. James Lee with the ball forward, looking for OES's goal scorer, Ian Brock, but that's cut out by Nathan Gruenberg. I think a little upset at himself that he couldn't do better at clearing that one out. Tough challenge there from Riverdale, managing to clear it out. And they're going to end up with a throw-in on the far side as we cross over the 11-minute mark here left in the first half. OES 1, Riverdale 1 in our OSAA 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer final here from Liberty High School. And Perry Freer applying more pressure there. He's been active for the Aardvarks since being moved up into the front line. Brought down here by Nick Robinson. And he's going to continue his run forward, try and get involved in the attack is the junior defender. But OES forced all the way back to goalkeeper Leon Patrick. He'll switch it around to the far side. Michael Brott can't control. OES now trying to put together an attack again. This ball forward cleared out by Peltz as we've got 9 minutes left in the first half. Riverdale going up early, a 3rd-minute goal from Isaiah Elder. OES equalizing in the 26th minute through Ian Brock. OES remains on the attack here. Opportunity at the top of the 18 for Matthew Sipowicz, the sophomore. It did well to chest it down to himself, but couldn't quite connect and get that on frame. And this whistle here from referee Marco Benavidez is going to bring the ball back to the midway line as Ben Field was fouled in his attempt to play the ball towards the near corner flag. Bodies lined up at the top of the OES penalty area. Senior Nathan Grunberg sends it deep. And a collision there as we had goalkeeper Leon Patrick coming out under some pressure from Nathan Hensley of Riverdale. And Hensley looked to get to it but couldn't redirect it on frame. Leon Patrick a bit slow coming out to get that one for the Aardvarks. And another chance here. Hensley again. He'll take a shot. And a good save. Ball deflected. Falls off the crossbar. And Riverdale unable to get the lead back after 2 good looks. It was Nathan Hensley who tried to side foot it around Leon Patrick in goal for Oregon Episcopal. Patrick down quickly. Made a good save. Deflected over to the other side of the 18. I believe Avi Byrne was on the end of it for OES, and his shot high and off the crossbar, and the score remains knotted at 1 apiece. Riverdale on the attack again. Ben Field making a long run forward. The last touch a bit heavy though. Six minutes now left in the first half. Score remains 0-0. But so far a reasonably crowd-pleasing match. bit of back and forth, a couple of goals scored, and some additional close attempts for both teams. Here's Ben Field again. He gets around one, lays off a nice ball into the 18. Referee a little bit of a decision maybe to make there, as substitute Wyatt Jones was taken down, but I think probably correctly judged by referee Marco Benavides that unlikely he was going to get on the end of that ball. And now here's a chance for OES, but a bit in fee, and Joseph Spector comes and collects at the end of his area. Now under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Action has picked up considerably here in the last couple of minutes. Both teams certainly love to snag another goal before intermission. And a bit of confusion here on exactly whose ball it is and what call it is. It looks like we're going to bring it all the way back for an OES throw after Riverdale thought they had a free kick. And OES now with the chance. And that cross there from James Lee slides off the side of his foot and out of bounds over the end line. Riverdale back on the ball now in the OES end of the field. Nice little ball slipped through there on the far side. Looking for Isaiah Elder. Bit of confusion. Ball skips through some players. Riverdale still on it just outside the OES penalty area. They'll work it out towards the far side. Ben Field, he'll cut back to his left. His cross blocked. OES unable to clear it out of their half of the field, but then a ball over the top by Field runs long. Field on it again for Riverdale. His ball forward. Finds Brian Simonson for OES. He'll get the Aardvarks started back the other direction. 2 minutes left in the first half. Good throw in. Nice little flick on there. Missed clearance. That ball's going to fall inside the area. Flag is up. Shot and a save, and I don't know. The linesman's trying to get the attention of the referee. He had his flag up, and now that flag is down. He decides it wasn't important. Let's play go on. Field unable to keep the ball inbounds there. Minute and a half left to go in the opening period of our 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer final. Oregon Episcopal and Riverdale currently knotted at 1 goal apiece. OES taking over possession now, but they give it up. Back to Riverdale. They'll see if they can put something together here with a minute to go. And now it's the opportunity for OES. Good looking chance here. Ball out toward the far side. Riverdale does just enough defensively and finally able to smack it upfield. And this could cause some problems, but Leon Patrick is out to the edge of his area to collect it for OES. He'll throw it out short. Simonson looks forward for Perry Freer, who can't bring it down. OES still on it, though, just under 30 seconds to play. Perhaps they can put together one last attack here. James Lee on the far side. And that ball out of bounds, and that's going to bring the first half to a close here. An exciting first half of play here in our 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer final. Oregon Episcopal 1, Riverdale 1. It was Riverdale who got the early goal in the 3rd minute through Isaiah Elder, and Oregon Episcopal found an equalizer 23 minutes later through Ian Brock. And that brings our first half to a close. Here from Liberty High School, we are going to take a halftime intermission for 10 minutes, and then we will be back for the second half. This is OSAA.TV.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you, around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires a good thing?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer, you see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you, around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
And welcome back, soccer fans, as we get set for the second half of our OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer final. Oregon Episcopal and Riverdale knotted at 1 apiece as we get set here. First half stats. Shots. The edge goes to Riverdale, 6-4. Corner kicks, just 1 for Oregon Episcopal. And both teams managing to get 2 shots on goal, which means 1 save apiece for our goalkeepers, Joseph Spector and Leon Patrick. And there's our whistle from head referee Marco Benavides. And we are back underway here at Liberty High School in Hillsboro for our second of 4 high school soccer championship matches today. Sipowicz with a nice ball towards the corner. Cross in here, and bodies available, but it's Riverdale goalkeeper Joseph Spector who comes out and handles that one comfortably. Distributes up the field quickly, trying to get Riverdale back the other direction. Well defended, though, on this near sideline by Michael Brock for OES. Nervous moment there for Carl Lovestrand, but he was able to make amends. Took a knock in the process. He's getting forward quite gingerly there now. Lovestrand, sophomore for OES. Hensley now on the far side for the Mavericks. Good stuff here from Riverdale. They'll swing it around to this near side, and that through ball just picked off by Brock. OES back the other direction. Again, it's Perry Freer putting pressure on the Riverdale defense, forcing that ball out of bounds for an OES throw. Battle on this near sideline. The ball just leaked out of bounds. Aardvarks take over with the throw, and the rain beginning to come down just a little bit heavier here. It hasn't quite stopped at all since we started playing earlier, but it's been fairly light. Now it begins to pick up a little bit. Oh, yes, with a bit of possession here and then given away. Riverdale looks to counter. They've got some space. 3-on-4 moving forward. Slipped through nicely. Touch on the far side, cut back, and that shot goes over the top and off the football upright. Avi Byrne once again causing problems for the Oregon Episcopal defense. He's had a couple of looks so far this afternoon. Oh yes, making a change now. Yinka Lanaran in for the Aardvarks. Oh yes, back on the ball, putting more pressure on that Riverdale back line. Now a throw in. Perry Freer unable to gather that one. That would be out for a Riverdale goal kick. 5 minutes gone here in the second half of our OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 3A, 2A, 1A state championships. Oregon Episcopal and Riverdale knotted at a goal apiece. As I mentioned earlier, these teams no strangers to each other. They played a couple of weeks ago with Oregon Episcopal getting the better of Riverdale 2-1. These teams play in the same league, OES finishing 4th in Special District 1, Riverdale finishing 2nd in that same district. Big clearance there from Nick Robinson. Out of bounds. Riverdale will take over with the throw. Nathan Hensley, the senior, on the far side for the Mavericks. Oregon Episcopal now with possession along their back line. They'll look to knock one forward. That's dealt with by the Maverick defense, and they try to counter back the other way quickly. Here's Ben Field to the end line. Big cross, over hits that all the way to the far sideline. But a good explosive counterattack there from the Mavericks. And referee Marco Benavides changing his call there. Riverdale fans applauding that decision. Good skill there by Ben Field. Ben Field, just a junior for the Mavericks. He's been active for Riverdale throughout the match. Once again, thanks for joining us here at OSAA.tv. We've got a total of 8 championship matches on tap for you here today. 4 here at Liberty High School, the other 4 across the highway at Hillsboro Stadium. So whatever level or game you'd like to see, we've got it available for you. Isaiah Elder now with the throw. He's the goal scorer for Riverdale. Battle for it now in midfield. A bit of a fancy move there from Sipowicz that didn't amount to much. OES ends up with it. They'll track it down deep in the Riverdale end. James Graybeal dispossessed. OES will retain with a throw, though. In towards John Dugoni. And he can't work that one out with Graybeal. So it'll be a Riverdale goal kick. "30 minutes left here in this one. 1-1 between Oregon Episcopal and Riverdale. Oregon Episcopal trying to be the second OES team to win a championship. The girls winning our first match of the day. Earlier getting the better of Valley Catholic 2-1. Boys would certainly be happy with a repeat performance if they can get a result here. Simonson, he plays it forward. A bit of combination there. The final pass, though, not quite right. OES retains, though. Here's Dugoni with a long shot. And that eventually goes straight to Joseph Spector. Not too many problems for him to collect that. Sipowicz now. He gets turned, forced backwards. Good ball up the line for Perry Freer. His cross in straight into the arms of Spector. OES back on the attack again, beginning to assert themselves here in the last few minutes. Well done by Perry Freer. Ball into the 18, back out to Perry Freer, and he was in an offside position as he received that pass back from Rowan Barrage. Well, one header there by Dugoni. And Josh Peltz momentarily overran that, recovered for a second, but now it's OES coming back. Perry Freer with a chance. Now for Simowitz. His shot stopped. And Sipowicz, a good-looking chance right at the top of the 18, but a good save from Joseph Spector. And the score remains knotted at 1 apiece. Sipowicz again, now Dugoni. He'll look to the far corner flag. Looking for Graybeal. He'll try to track this down, and it's going to be Nathan Hensley who shepherds that out over the end line, and we'll get a couple of changes now for both squads. James Lee returns for OES. And the Riverdale substitutions will have to wait for a moment. Big booming cross attempt from Ian Brock. Goes over the goal, but not by much. It didn't cause Joseph Spector too much worry there. Perry Freer with a couple defenders on him. He gives the ball up, and Riverdale will come back the other way. Colin Steering now. He's heading into the 18-yard box. One defender in front tries to cross. That gets deflected. OES collects, and they'll play out. Here's Ian Brock. He's got the goal today for OES. Brock gives that one away. Riverdale can't capitalize. Here's a chance now. Nifty little shot just off the crossbar. James Lee with a good attempt and a good touch to try to lift that over the goalkeeper, Joseph Spector, who had come out. And it just goes off the top of the crossbar. So the action continues here from Liberty High School in our 3A, 2A, 1A Boys Soccer Championship. There's been a couple of goals, some good back and forth, and even a few more near misses for both squads. And Riverdale bringing in Marty Agremus and Haig Dujan in that last substitution a minute ago. And nobody able to get their head on the end of that one for either club. That finds its way back to Joseph Spector, the senior goalkeeper for Riverdale. There's Ben Field battling it out in the center of the pitch, and in the end drawing a foul. So after OES had sort of taken control of things and put together a couple of attempts on goal, now it's Riverdale's turn to put the ball into the OES penalty area. Bounces, skips through everyone, and Leon Patrick able to collect. But a bit of a nervous moment there as that ball skipped through a lot of players to find its way back to Patrick in goal. OES trying to break the other way now. Here's Brock. As he jumps over that slide tackle coming his way. Earns a throw in for the Aardvarks. deep in Riverdale territory. Throw caught up between a couple of players, cleared out. Degoni now. Sipowicz back to Degoni. He'll take a shot. That gets blocked. Maybe a chance for Riverdale here, but nicely done from Nick Robinson to cut that out to put an end to that Riverdale counter. And now Riverdale will make a change as their goal scorer, Isaiah Elder, will head to the sideline, and he's going to make way for, I believe, Avi Byrne to re-enter the match for the Mavericks. Here's James Lee trying to track down another one for OES, but dealt with nicely by Josh Pells. Riverdale now. Collins steering, sending one back in towards the middle, comes straight back to him. One man ahead of him. He'll try to get to the end line and cross. Played on. Knocked up in the air. Bit of a scramble for it as Patrick came out. OES able to get ahead on it, and now they'll counter back the other way. Lee drops it off. Looking back over the top for him. Here's Perry Freeler, and just didn't get anything on that one, and Joseph Spector collects that rather comfortably. Under 20 minutes to go now. Game tied 1-1. OES and Riverdale playing a good match here at Liberty High School in our OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 3A, 2A, 1A state championship. OES looking for their first title since 2009. Riverdale looking for their first title in boys soccer. And a foul there in the middle of the field will give OES an opportunity to send a free kick into the Riverdale penalty area. The numbers gathered at the top of the 18. Dugoni raises his arms, sends this one in. Flicked on, headed down, bounces at the top of the 18. A little scramble for it, and finally Riverdale's going to come away with it. And if they go quickly, they could counter here. Ball forward, looking for steering. He's going to get on the end of it. One time across, and dealt with nicely by Degoni, who'd gotten back into the 6-yard box. So the action continues here. 18 minutes left in this championship match. Here's Ben Field. He'll get to the end line. He crosses one in. And OES got just enough on it to get it out of danger, and they'll try and send Perry Freer back the other way. Good tackle. And finally cleared out of bounds by Riverdale. Throwing quickly taken. Here's Sipowicz. And he wanted a foul on that one. Isn't going to get it this time. Gabe Perry Freer flicks that one on. And OES is going to work their way up the field a little bit with a trio of throw-ins. Michael Brock doing the honors for OES. Tackle there from James Lee, but Riverdale's going to end up with it. And Avi Byrne took the hit on that. He's a little slow to get up. Appears to be all right, though. Riverdale unable to clear here. OES, Degoni. Long-range effort blocked. Headed back in. Skips past one Riverdale defender, not past another, but they haven't cleared it out of danger entirely yet. And finally, it's Max Zinda who gets it out of bounds. As once again, the tide changes and shifts. And Oregon Episcopal now putting the pressure on, looking for this game winner. Well, we've got 15 minutes to go here. And Riverdale is going to make some changes here. Nathan Hensley back into the match along with Isaiah Elder and Wyatt Jones. So at the quarter-hour mark, Riverdale makes a trio of changes as they look to get their first state championship. Currently tied 1-1 here with OES. Collins steering. Cross in towards the middle. Dugoni's there. Now here's Ian Brock. Long ball forward, and James Lee manages to bring that down. He's got some options, including Sipowicz to his right. Cuts it back into the middle to his left, takes that left-footed shot, and just not enough on that to test Joseph Spector. Sipowicz calling for it out wide right, and he feels a little undone that he didn't get that ball, but he does now. Nicely done over the top. Sipowicz takes it out of the air, and he's mad at himself that he didn't let that drop just a little further closer to the ground before striking it. Steering with the ball to the corner flag. Here's Nathan Hensley. He's got a defender on him, and he cannot put the moves together to get around Ian Brock and knocks it out over the end line. 13 minutes left here, and an increasingly intense, exciting matchup between Oregon Episcopal and Riverdale as they do battle for the 3A, 2A, 1A Boys Soccer Championship here from Liberty High School. Thanks again for joining us on the OSAA network here at OSAA.tv, where we've got a full slate of championship matches for you here today. Michael Brock now with the throw into the end line, and Gabe Perry-Freer unable to keep it in. Ball stolen there by Ben Field. He's going to attack that OES defense. Touch a bit heavy, gets out in front of him, and OES takes over control. Sipowicz, diagonal ball, and that's going to find James Graybeal. And his cutback is cleared away out of bounds. OES back again on the attack deep in Riverdale's end. They earn themselves a throw, and that'll bring Brian Simonson forward for the Aardvarks. He'll sling this in towards Perry Freer. Gets caught underneath a few bodies. OES recovers. Cross in, that's straight out over the end line for a goal kick. So we approach the 10-minute mark here in our 3A, 2A, 1A Boys Soccer Championship. Currently knotted up at 1 apiece, Oregon Episcopal Aardvarks and the Riverdale Mavericks. And Ben Field with some nice touches there. He finds Nathan Hensley on the near sideline. Defender in front of him leaves it off for Field. He'll get a cross off. That gets headed away to the top of the 18. Bit of commotion, and finally OES able to come away. Nick Robinson clears it out for the Aardvarks. Riverdale trying to come right back at him though now. Ben Field again. Touch around a couple defenders. Field! Goal! And it's Ben Field who puts Riverdale up 2-1 with 9.5 minutes left to go in our 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer final. And the Riverdale crowd now can perhaps smell their first state championship. 9.5 minutes to go, and the Mavericks are going to be crowned 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer champions. Be interesting here to see both coaches and their deployment for this final 9 minutes. Will Riverdale drop a couple bodies and sit in to protect, or will they just continue to play? And obviously you would assume OES is going to find some way to throw a player or two forward, as they have no choice now but to push for another goal, even if that means it might leave them a bit open and exposed at the back. Riverdale with it again. And again, the Field-Hensley combination causing problems. Hensley keeping that one inbounds, finally cleared away by OES. And OES back on the attack now in the Riverdale end. Mavericks bringing all but one back to help defend. Ben Field on it, big clearance. Back to OES. They'll chip one over the top. They've got Sipowicz here. He's going to bring this down. Well defended, though, by the Mavericks. Max Zinda doing well to dispossess Matthew Sipowicz there and clear it out. But it'll be an OES throw. Sipowicz again. His attempt cleared away. And finally, Riverdale able to get a big clearance into the OES end of the field, but they immediately take possession back. 7 minutes left to go here in our 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer championship match. Riverdale Mavericks currently up 2-1 over Oregon Episcopal, and Riverdale makes a change. They bring Avi Byrne back in to help try and close things out with under 7 minutes to go. See if the Riverdale Mavericks can't get their first state championship. Hensley, he gets around one defender. And the last touch lets him down, and OES is going to be able to come back the other way. Ian Brock up the line. Here's Gabe Perry-Freer. Ben Field with that clearance. It'll be another OES throw. 6 minutes now left to play. That throw in headed out of bounds. Another throw in for OES. Riverdale unable to and a tough challenge there, and that's going to bring a card for Dugoni as he goes into the book. Yeah. So John Dugoni heads to the sideline after being the second player to find his way into Marco Benavides' book with a yellow card here in the last 6 minutes. Elder tracks that down, crosses it in. Riverdale unable to get anybody on the end of it. Gives OES a chance maybe to go back the other way. But Nathan Grunberg defended well there. Got it back for Riverdale. And a tough challenge there between Sipowicz and Grunberg, but Grunberg helps him up. And Riverdale takes over with the throw. Just under 5 minutes left to play now. Another long ball forward from OES. They might just be in hoof it forward mode now with 4.5 minutes to play, down a goal. Riverdale doing their best to maintain some possession here. They're not just giving things away to OES and letting them come back and attack them over and over again. Done a nice job of running some time off the clock and not just sinking back and packing it in, trying to protect this lead. And now the time's going to continue to run down as OES brings John Dugoni back into the match. We'll start with a throw deep in their own end. Riverdale keeps the pressure on near midfield and earns themselves another throw. 3.5 minutes now left to go. And now another big long ball forward, but a bit aimless there from James Lee as nobody for OES on that. Straight back to Riverdale, and they'll try and play out. And now here's a chance maybe for OES. Cleared away by Riverdale. And that clearance blocked, but falls to big number 26, Josh Pells. He making a run forward, perhaps a bit ill-advised. I'm sure his coach wants him just to stay back in the middle of that defense where OES is trying to attack now. Two and a half minutes to go. OES will round the corner to the end line. They'll cross it into the near post. And that ball's still live, trickling along the end line. Nobody seemed too concerned about it for either team. Finally cleared out of bounds. It'll be another OES throw. Dangerous ball into the middle, bounced off the post there. Riverdale Mavericks hanging tough so far under the waning minutes. The pressure put on by OES, trying to get a tying goal. And they've got themselves a corner, so a chance here. Minute and a half to go. OES down 1-2. They'll send the corner in. High ball towards the far post. Degoni head on it. Straight to Joseph Spector. Spector will send it back the other way. 1 minute now left to play. Riverdale 60 seconds from a state championship here in boys soccer. OES trying to find any way to get that ball forward. Riverdale players doing enough at the moment just to get in the way and cause problems. Finally a clearance into the OES end of the field. Sent back in. Riverdale's the only one there. Turnover. Sipowicz flicking that one on. He wants the foul call. He's not going to get it. 20 seconds left to go. Big clearance out by Hensley. OES sends it back in. On the far side. 10 seconds now left. Perhaps one last chance for OES. And it's not going to be. Riverdale is going to clear this out. And Riverdale Mavericks, they are your 2012 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer state champions. A good, exciting back and forth match here from Liberty High School as Riverdale gets the 2-1 victory over Oregon Episcopal. They got off to a 1-0 lead in the 3rd minute of the game, courtesy of Isaiah Elder. OES gets an equalizer in the 26th minute through Ian Brock. But it's just 9 minutes from time that Ben Field puts home the game winner for the Riverdale Mavericks, and they will take home their first state championship. So that is 2 games down and 2 to go for us here from Liberty High School as we have concluded our 3A, 2A, 1A state championships. The girls of Oregon Episcopal winning the championship on the girls' side, and the Riverdale Mavericks getting the better of Oregon Episcopal 2-1 on the boys' side. So our final score, Riverdale 2, Oregon Episcopal 1. That's going to do it here as we take a 45-minute break from Liberty High School before our next match, the 4A girls, which will be followed up by the 4A boys later this evening. You've been watching the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 3A, 2A, 1A boys soccer championships here on OSAA.